guitar dudes and dudettes. Today I will be teaching you how to play the entire song. That's right, the entire song Told You So by Paramore from their new album After Laughter. I can't say that I was a huge Paramore fan before this album came out. I never really bothered to delve into their music. With their new record coming out, I was really intrigued and just really enjoyed their new singles and actually the album as a whole. So I decided to check out the rest of their music and thought to myself, wow, these guys are actually quite amazing. Remember to check out the description for the timestamps to jump to the tabs immediately if you've already viewed this video. The tuning for this song is simply standard tuning all across the board. And let's just get right into this guitar study. Let's start off with exercise number 1. This is fairly simple. As you can see in the tabs, one of the chords are in orange. Don't pay any mind to that yet, I'll explain that later. The first part in the beginning of the song and the intro is very simple. It's simply 2 chords. So that's this chord, 6, 8, 8, 7. That would be E6, A8, D8, and then with our middle finger on the 7 on the G. So that's, and this is all finger picked in the beginning. By the way, in the song, what I suggest you do, it depends how you want to play it. You can pick it or not pick it, do it all finger style, or combine them both, which is, I think, what they are doing. Because in the song, certain sections have a much stronger attack on the strings, which hints at them switching to a pick. Very simple, you have your pick right here, and you're going to place it right here. Ring finger, right hand. That's how I like to hold it, so that I can then pick with my fingers, and when I have to, I do the old switcheroo to the pick. Right, so it might take some time to get down, but I suggest you do that for this song. So that'll be the first chord, all picked using all your fingers for all 4 notes. And then we go up on the register to this chord. That would be 5 index finger A, D string 7 with your ring finger, and with your pinky on the G string 7, and with your middle finger on the 6 B string. So that would be once, and you don't let it ring. You kind of stop it halfway. Dun, 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 dun. So right, it's a kind of a staccato vibe. And we repeat that 3 times. So this, that's 3 times. Once we get to the 4th time, which would be ending that intro riff, you could say, we do something a little slightly different with the tempo. So that's the 4th time around. So instead of doing, we're doing da, da. So it's kind of a little bit of a longer rest in between those last 2 chords. And from there we jump into the next part of the guitar. Exercise 2. During exercise 2 we're still finger picking everything. Starting on the B string, 5, 6, 8, and that's all hammer on. B string, 5, 6, 8. Remember, our pick is right here, the ring finger. Once we do the hammer-ons, we go to the high E, 6, 5. We string skip the B, go to the G, and then hammer-on 5, 7, index, ring finger. And when I'm picking the G string, I'm using my thumb. So I'm first using these fingers at the top, and then my thumb. From there we jump to the high E, pull off 8, 6, 5, go to the B string 8, 6, then back to high E5, and then 7 on the G. So that's, and it's all kind of also staccato, you could say. You're not letting everything ring too much. and that we repeat 4 times. So now we're off to exercise 3, still continuing on with the structure of the song so far. And I'll tell you when, the verse or what have you comes back to refer back to the previous tab. Okay, let's continue with exercise 3. Here we are playing the following 6, 7, that's 6 on the B, 7 on the G, 5 on the B, 7 on the G. And you're just alternating between those two. I'm only using these 2 fingers, and it's also picked with your fingers. So we're bouncing back to these 2 twice. Take a look. 1, 2. Then we pause. 1, 2. Then we pause. We repeat that 3 times. That's 3 times, and then the 4th time there's a slight variation. The slight variation is 6, 7, 5, 5, 6, 7, and then we go on the high E5. And that will be basically the end of that section of the song. Fairly simple stuff. Then we move on to the segment, which is exercise 4, where we are actually using the pick. So once we've played that part with the fingers, we do the old switcheroo to the pick. Then we can get more attack and power for the next part. So we are palm muting most of the notes, except when we're doing the hammer-on pull-off and the chord at the end. Let me show you what I mean. So that's 6, 7, double 6, and then 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, hammer on 8, pull off 6, 7, double 6, 7, and then chord, which you're sliding outwards from the fretboard to the head of the guitar. So we're picking, we have to make sure we add enough power to our picking. It's not nothing exaggerated, just a little bit more aggression. And that's basically it. The tricky part here, well, I mean, it's not really tricky, but once you double on the 6, so you're starting that little tempo can be maybe tricky for the first few times you try it, but then you'll catch on. So just keep that in mind when you're going to learn that part. So at this point, we're about 58 seconds into the song, and we simply repeat the verse segment, which would be exercise 1. However, there is a difference here. Remember when I told you the orange part in the tab that is marked orange, that chord? This time we're actually skipping that chord in one of the repetitions. So once we are repeating this part for the second time, so as you can see, I skipped the 3rd time we played this chord during the 2nd repetition. And that's pretty much the only variation there. Gives it a nice little spice to it, nice little spice into the song. The guitarist is using some type of effect. I don't know which effect. I don't have an effect pedal. Honestly, I don't know much about effects. But if you want to play it without the effect, just skip that 3rd chord there at the 2nd repetition, and then you can still get the vibe of the song without the effect. We do that. We're also repeating again exercise 2, which was also 4 times, right? So the song is now repeating all the parts, verse, chorus, and everything. So now we're at a part of the song where there's this nice little effect going on in the background, which is before the climax of the song itself, starting at about 1 minute 40 seconds. And that's this this swell of a sound that comes and goes, also using probably some effect, which again I do not know, but you can emulate it without having any real effects to your guitar. It's a swell in volume, right? If you play 15 on the B, 15 on the high E, play that together with your pick to get that aggression and attack. This is 18 on the B, 17 on high E. So if you want to play that along with the song, you can. That would be just 15, using the volume knob, starting from 0, swell up. Then you just give that little vibrato for that extra little spice. And that if you want to play that with the song without any effects, you can do that with the volume knob, getting that swell of the sound. Now we're moving on. After that comes kind of the mini little guitar solo, I guess you could say. It's more of the little instrumental climax of the song. So right there we're playing 6, 7, we're starting on the B and then G, 6, 7, go back to 5, 6, 7, 5. Here we're picking 2 muted notes or dead notes. It's kind of that, gives it that groove. So dead note twice, and that's hammer on from 5 on the G to 7 on the G. And then we're repeating again that same pattern. This time adding in the variation, starting on the 8 A string, that's twice, and you're palm muting that. Hammer on 5, 7 on the G, and then back on the B, on the A string, sorry, 8. So that's I'm not 100% sure on those note groupings for that part. At least that's what I can hear from the song. It's fairly close, I would say. Again, repeating 6, 7, 5, 5. Twice dead note. So instead of just doing the hammer on like we did in the beginning, we're adding extra notes. So that's that would be hammer on 5, 7 on the G, go to the B6, and then back to 7 on the G. And then we get on to the last part. Again, repeating 6, 7, 5, 5, 6, 7, high E, G. So that's, and that would be ending that little climax mini light guitar instrumental solo thing. So right now we're at about 2 minutes 30 seconds, and we're repeating exercise 2 again. That's 4 times. Once we do that, we go back to repeating that little instrumental break of the guitar, which would be exercise 5. And then we have the little, just the ending basically. And that would be 6, 7, double 6, 7, and then the chord 7, 6, 5. And that's 7 on the G, 6 on the B, 5 on high E. And that's basically completing the whole song. Everything that I've shown you here are all the guitar parts you would need to play the whole song, studio album version with the guitar. So I hope that was helpful for you guys, and that you enjoy playing the song as much as I did. So that was the song. I hope you really enjoyed learning it and playing along with the song as much as I have enjoyed playing along with the song. I will probably be doing a couple of songs extra from this new record, and also just compacting it all in one video instead of different parts. Since, you know, the music isn't that, there aren't that many notes to cover right in one song. So I guess I'll see you guys next Sunday with another guitar video.